It's a scorching Austin afternoon in 1994. Matthew McConaughey's pacing a dusty gravel driveway, sweating through his cowboy boots, holding a crumpled journal, his secret map in a life of chaos. He scribbles, capturing moments that feel like red lights but later realize they're green lights. What's this mysterious code he's chasing for decades? It's not fame or fortune. It's about reading the signs life throws at you, even when those signs don't make sense yet. Stick around, 'cause this isn't your standard Hollywood memoir. This is McConaughey's playbook for turning roadblocks into green lights. Matthew's life is full of moments that look like stop signs but end up green lights. But how do you know the difference? That's where it gets interesting. In the Ozarks, a teen McConaughey crashes a beat-up, '72 Chevelle. Instead of despair, he sees the scratched bumper sticker, "Just keep livin'," as a talisman. Scrapes and all, that battered car became his manifesto. The twist? That damaged ride taught him early that life's rough spots aren't dead ends but invitations to keep moving. Imagine life as a highway, and every event is a traffic light. McConaughey treats his setbacks like a cop directing street chaos. Sometimes he halts, sometimes he pushes through, but always with full awareness. This mental traffic control lets him catch signals rather than crash into despair, turning confusion into clarity and hesitation into momentum. Here's the kicker: red lights, the times you're stopped or rejected, are actually life's way of pausing so you can see a better path. That sudden no? It's a secret yes in disguise. Once McConaughey embraced this, his frustration melted and he started trusting failure as part of his personal GPS toward meaning and satisfaction. For 35 years, McConaughey scribbled his life in journals. Not the poetic kind, but raw, practical notes that turned into a treasure map. Why write it all down? At 17, McConaughey was more into baseball stats and beach sunsets than schoolwork. One summer in Texas, he started filling notebooks with these odd combinations, touching the mundane and the magical. Years later, he found those entries were less about events and more about tracking his own evolving spirit, like footprints leading home in sand before the tide. Think of journaling as detective work on yourself. Each note, each scribbled thought is a clue. McConaughey used this to connect threads between moments others might dismiss, like a Sherlock piecing together a puzzle no one else sees. This shifted his focus from chasing others' dreams to unraveling his own unique story. Years of collecting these puzzle pieces birthed what McConaughey calls outlaw wisdom. That's wisdom you don't find in rulebooks, but in the messy middle of lived experience. His scattered scribbles became a map pointing toward a life that feels honest, fun, and deeply meaningful. Stress isn't just an enemy, it's a signal, McConaughey says, but instead of fighting it, he learned to surf its waves. How exactly does he do that? In his early 20s, Matty found himself trapped in a rainstorm while backpacking near Byron Bay, Australia. The flooded trails and lost gear felt like a disaster, but instead of losing it, he pivoted, laughing with locals and turning the problem into an adventure. That moment showed him stress isn't a stop sign, it's a nudge to reassess and move differently. Think of stress like the speedometer on a car dashboard. Too high, you risk burnout. Too low, you might be stuck. McConaughey learned to read his internal gauge, slowing down when needed and purring forward when fueled by passion. This mechanism helps you stay in control rather than overwhelmed. Rather than running from stress, he picked his battles deliberately. Stress became a compass showing what mattered most. Now, instead of frantic fleeing or freeze, you get focused fire. That realignment cut his chaos, turned pressure into purpose, and gave him a quieter joy. McConaughey's recipe for a good life: have fun and be fair. Simple phrases loaded with outlaw wisdom, but what do they really mean in practice? One night at the University of Texas, Matthew and a ragtag crew sat around a fire, debating fairness and luck until dawn. These talks weren't just youthful chatter, they crystallized a personal code to treat others with uncompromising honesty and kindness. That code followed him from frat houses to Hollywood sets, anchoring a chaotic life. For McConaughey, fairness isn't just ethics, it's social capital. Like currency, Fairness builds trust accounts that pay dividends long-term. It shields you from petty drama and fuels deeper relationships. This principle made him reliable in an industry famous for ego-driven deals, a rare outsider with an insider's respect. Fun isn't frivolous for Matty, it's an essential survival tool. It's the secret sauce that colors hard work with joy, turning grind into dance. When fun is genuine, it becomes a magnet, pulling the right people and opportunities your way, transforming life from burden into celebration. Matthew's epiphany: it was never about winning, it was about understanding. This subtle shift rewired how he approached life's game. During his Golden Globes acceptance speech for Dallas Buyers Club, Matthew paused amidst the flashing cameras, realizing the applause was fleeting. That night crystallized a truth he'd carried since childhood. The wins don't define you, but the lessons you digest do. This epiphany shifted his focus from accolades to self-awareness. Winning can feel like clutching sand. The harder you grasp, the more it squirms away. McConaughey compares chasing external wins to trying to catch lightning with a bucket, rarely productive and always draining. This analogy reframes success, inviting you to relax your grip and savor the storm instead. True victory came with understanding of himself, others, and life's rhythms. That understanding brought patience, humility, and peace. It's the green light in its purest form, not permission to speed but wisdom to flow, turning a restless chase into a rich journey. Remember that sweaty Austin driveway from the start? That's not just a place. It's the moment McConaughey cracked his own code. Life's green lights come masked as chaos and confusion. What if you started looking at your red lights, stress points, or failures as secret offers of permission to keep going? Start jotting down your weird, small moments, like Matthew's journals, because hidden in your mess is your personal map. Try this moment. Next time you hit a stop, ask yourself, could this be a green light in disguise? The answer might just change your drive. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.